all these sutras are only read by these Vedantis. You people, if you have done NSP, you will all undergo the experiences. I speak about all these things. What they speak about this death and what they say that see the Atman in every being. And this Vedantis, they only read. They can never understand. Our people, all of you, almost undergo every experience. In NSP, how many of you have not done NSP? Raise your hand. Oh, all right. It's unless you do it, I cannot explain the energy which prevails there. Everyone I have seen, even the father touching the feet of the daughter, in that ecstasy, they do not even know who is who and what we are doing. They forget the very idea that we are somewhere separate from the other person. Somebody is different from the God. What here they say, the whole thing you experience. So if you read Upanishad, it will be almost like a repetition. Brahma devebhyo vijikke tasya brahmano vijaye devo amahiyanta ta akshanta asmagameva ayam vijayo asmagameva ayam mahimeti taddaisham vijanyau devyo harapradurbuva tannavyajanata kimidam yakshamiti teknimapruvan jatavedayetat vijanihi kimedat yakshamiti dadeti tadapyatravat tamapyatvat kosityagneer va aham asmiti apravit jataveto va aham asmiti tasmim sat vaikim वीर्यमित्य भीतं सर्वं दहेयं यदितं पृथिव्यामिति तस्मै तृणं निददावेदद्दहेति तदुपप्रेयाय सर्वजवेन तन्न ससागदक्तुं स तत एव निवृते नैरदसगं विज्ञातुं यदेतत्यक्षमिति. Actually, why I wanted to speak on the Upanishad? Many people used to ask me, Swamiji, you are giving many spiritual ideas. We know it is all great ideas. We are able to feel it. But do they all from the Shastras? Do they all from the authentic sources? Just I thought then I should speak on the Upanishad. Only then people will understand. All these teachings are from the authentic sources. From the great words of the Rishis. That is what is proved when you read these Upanishads. Whatever I say in the ASP, NSP, SSP courses, whole idea, every bit of ideas you can trace from these Upanishads. Atavayum apruvanvaya vedat vijanihi kimedat yakshamiti dadeti tadapyatravat tamapyatvat kosi divayurva aham asmiti apravitmata rishvama aham asmiti. The whole small story is given as a sloka. That is why it goes so long. Tasmin spai kim viryamitya bhitam sarvamadadiya yaditam pratibhyamiti tasmai trunam nitada vedadadat svedi tadupreyaya sarvajavena tannam sashakadadhum sadayeva nivrute naidadashakam विज्ञातुं यदेतत् यक्षमिति अदेन्द्रम् अप्रुवन् महवन्नेतत् विजानीहि किमेतत् यक्षमिति तदेति तदप्यत्रवत् तस्मात् तिरोदते स तस्मिन्नेवागासस्त्रियमा जगाम बगुसो मानामम् उमाम् हैमवतीं ताम् होवाच किमेतत् यक्षमिति. सा ब्रह्मेति होवाच ब्रह्मणो वा एतत् विजये महीयत्वमिति ततो हैव विदाज्ञकार ब्रह्मेति तस्मात् वायेते देवा आदितरामि वान्यान् देवान् यदग्निर्वायुरिन्द्रस्ते हेन्नत्तिष्ठं पस्पर्शुस्ते हेनत् प्रथमो विदाञ्चकार ब्रह्मेति तस्मात् वा इन्द्रो अधितरामि वान्यान् देवान् स ह्यन्नेत्तिष्ठन् पस्पर्श स हेनत् प्रथमो विदाञ्चकार ब्रह्मेति तस्यैष आदेशो यदेतत् विद्युतो इति न्यमिमीषता इत्यधिदैवतम् अध्यात्मं यदेतत् गच्छतीव च मनोनेन सैतदुमस्मरति अभीक्षणं संकल्प तत्त तत्त्वनं नाम तत्त्वनम् इत्युपासितव्यं स ययेतदेवं वेदाभिहैनं सर्वाणि भूतानि संवाञ्छन्ति तस्यै तपोतपः कर्मेति प्रतिष्ठा वेदाः सर्वाङ्गानि सत्यमायतनम् यो वा एतावमेवं वेदावहत्य पाप्मानमनन्ते स्वर्गे लोके जेये प्रतिष्ठति. The last statement is a blessing from the masters to the disciple. Let you be established in this spiritual knowledge. So, the Upanishad ends with these two Shanti mantras. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Apyayandu mamangani vang pranachakshuh Srotram madobalamindriyani cha Sarvani Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam Maham Brahma Niraguryam Mama Brahma Niragarot Aniragaranamastu Aniragaranam mestu Tadatmani Niradeya Upanishatsu Dharmaste Mayi Sandude Mayi Sandu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I will give you the gist of the soul Upanishad in few words. First, the rishis are praying. Rishis and disciples are praying. Second, they are praying to have a physical strength, mental strength and spiritual strength. Third thing, they explain the nature of the Brahman. Brahman cannot be known by intellect, which is beyond intellect and mind. The third thing, a small story to prove Brahman is a superior than Vayu, Indra and Agni. The fourth thing, the meditation and Dhamma, self-restraint and the dedicated service. All these three things are the method or the way to reach the spiritual experience. This is the whole gist of this Upanishad. So anybody who wants to have any question, they can have for a few minutes. Next few minutes, we can have any question on this Upanishad. Now I have given you the gist in all the 4 chapter. Gist I have given. You can ask any question.
Indra is called mind.
Aha, you come to a beautiful subject. Indra is considered as a mind. Agni is considered as a tongue, which continuously asks for eating. Vayu is considered as a sensory pleasure. see in the metaphysical way, you don't even need to understand Indra is somebody else. Indra is your mind, which continuously asks for pleasure. Vayu is your sense, the touch, which continuously asks for sex. And Agni is the tongue, taste, which continuously asks something from the outer world. These three things are not ultimate. In our life, these three things are ultimate. Understand? The story has got a deep metaphysical meaning. The story has got deep metaphysical meaning. Indra does not even have to mean that somebody, some guy who is sitting on that gaja, the four-tusked elephant. No. You, in your own body, your mind is Indra. The sensual pleasures, the sexual pleasure is air, at Vayu. And your taste, tongue is the Agni. Your whole life you can see you spend only for these three guys. Worshipping these three guys only you spend your whole life. Worshipping your taste, yearning for food, and worshipping your comfort, the sensory and the touch and taste, touch pleasure. Working for your comfort and sex. And third, working behind your mind, going behind your mind. Worshipping the Indra. In your whole life, you worship only these three guys. Upanishad says, they three are not Brahman. Brahman is the energy which is beyond these three. The story explained in a metaphysical way. It has got a deep philosophical meaning also.
Who is Devi then?
The very year itself, the Devi is mentioned as a Buddhi. Both means the Buddhi. The intellect, the Buddhi, the intelligence, which shows you this is not the ultimate. I can explain in the other way. Whenever you finish enjoying, there is some dissatisfaction inside you. How much you enjoy, you don't feel that you achieved what you want to achieve. You reach the state where what you want to reach. In that state, actually your Buddhi comes out and tells, no, this is not the ultimate. That Buddhi is what? Uma Devi. That Buddhi is what? Buddhi, Devi, which says, go towards the Brahman, not towards these small gods, the small ordinary devas. And the Yaksha is what is depression. Yaksha is depression. You cannot go beyond Yaksha with these three forces. Only when you understand Brahman, you can go beyond the Yaksha. The Yaksha cannot be moved by these three senses. Let depression come and let these three fight with the depression, nothing can be done. So divine appears as a depression to prove the three senses cannot reach the ultimate. That is not the ultimate. That's why they say depression is the representative of God. The Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Only when Arjuna became depressed, he has become qualified for Gita. Till the time Krishna was also next to him. Arjuna was, both were next to each other. But Arjuna never heard the Gita because he was not qualified. Only when he understood running around is not going to help. Only when he became depressed of this outer world, when the Vishada happens, Vishada means depression. When it happened, only then he became qualified to the Gita. Then Gita was delivered to him. Any other question?
Swami,
Vishada is necessary to reach the truth.
Huh?
Vishada, yaksha is necessary to reach the truth.
Two things. Either you yourself should have Vishada and start searching, or the inspiration of the master is enough. If you have the right master, he will not let you rest. He will continuously be screwing you. Even if you feel sleepy, no, sit here, attend the class. He will be continuously, in a way, torturing you, forcing you towards the ultimate. He will be again and again reminding you towards the ultimate. If you have the master, you don't need Vishada. But if you don't have a living master, you need Vishada. Vishada only is the continuous reminder to put you towards the spiritual practice and enlightenment. If you have a living master, then you don't need Vishada because he will take care of that job.